Betrayal, the price of fortune. They call me an old fool, a mad hermit whispering stories to the wind. Maybe they're right. I've lived in these mountains longer than I can remember, alone, with nothing but the echoes of my past and the weight of my regrets. But before you turn away, before you dismiss my words as the ramblings of a broken man, listen, because what I am about to tell you is true. And perhaps, if you heed my warning, you won't make the same mistake I did. You see, I wasn't always like this. Once I was a man of wealth, power, and ambition. I had built an empire with my own two hands, a transport company that dominated the industry. I had a wife, 2 sons, a mansion overlooking the city. People knew my name. They respected me, envied me. I had clawed my way out of the gutter, out of the filth of my childhood poverty, and I swore I would never go back. But fate is cruel, and greed. Oh, greed is a merciless master. My downfall began with betrayal. My business partner, Roberto, a man I had trusted like a brother, stabbed me in the back, embezzled money, forged contracts. By the time I realized what he had done, it was too late. The lawsuits drained me, the creditors circled like vultures, and soon everything I had built turned to ash. My wife, Laura, couldn't stand to look at me. She took our children and left, vanishing into a world I could no longer afford to be a part of. I lost my house, my cars, my dignity. I moved into a filthy little apartment where rats were my only companions. And worst of all, my sons fell ill. I had no money for doctors, no means to help them. I spent my nights staring at the ceiling, praying to a God who never answered. Then I heard whispers, a name, a way out, Mamon. At first it was just a passing mention in a drunken conversation at a bar. Then I started seeing the name in obscure books, in forgotten corners of the internet. The more I searched, the more I found. A demon, they said. The Lord of Wealth. A being who could grant riches beyond imagination, at a price. Desperate men do desperate things. And I was as desperate as they come. I performed the ritual in my squalid apartment. A black candle, a circle of salt, a handful of coins soaked in blood. I spoke the words, feeling foolish, trembling as the air grew heavy, thick, suffocating. Then a voice, smooth, deep, amused. You called Enrique Vasconcelos? I couldn't see him, but I felt him. A presence looming in the darkness, ancient and patient. I need help, I stammered. I know, the voice whispered. I know of your ruin, your hunger, your sick children. I know of your thirst for power, your hatred for those who wronged you. My hands trembled. You can fix it? I can give you more than you ever had. Fortune, power, health. But in 15 years I will return to collect what is mine. I should have run. I should have screamed, prayed, done anything but what I did next. Instead I nodded. Done. The candle went out, and a warmth unlike anything I had ever felt surged through me. It was as if something inside me had changed, as if a weight I hadn't even realized I carried had been lifted. The next morning, everything started falling into place. A forgotten investor reappeared, offering me capital. A businessman sought me out for a lucrative deal. Contracts practically fell into my lap. Within months, I was wealthy again, richer than ever before. My children were healthy. My ex-wife tried to come back, but I no longer needed her, and the years passed. Then, yesterday morning, I found a note on my desk. It is time. I knew what it meant. 15 years had passed, to the day. At first I tried to ignore it, but then the lights flickered. Shadows moved where they shouldn't. At night I heard footsteps in the halls, whispers in the corners of my room. And then, he came. Not Mamon himself, no, but one of his messengers. A tall skeletal man in a black suit, his skin pale, his eyes deep pits of nothingness. He smiled, his teeth impossibly white, impossibly sharp. "It is time, Mr. Vasconcelos," he said in a voice like silk over steel. I begged, pleaded, wept, but my body refused to move. He stepped forward, placed one cold finger on my forehead, and I felt something inside me shatter. "Now you will see the true cost of your wealth." And everything crumbled. My businesses collapsed overnight. My accounts drained, my assets seized. My mansion was taken, my name dragged through the mud. And worst of all, my sons, Raphael and Mateus. They were grown now, but without stability, without guidance, without me. They had fallen. Today, I saw them for the first time in years, wandering the streets like ghosts of the men they should have been, addicts, homeless, lost. I tried to speak to them, but they turned away, as if I were nothing more than another shadow in their broken world. And now, here I sit, on this mountain, waiting. I know Mamon will come soon. There is nowhere left to run.